Tonight, when the sun goes down, you are going to lock your door. You will check it twice, maybe 3 times before you go to bed. You will lie in the dark, and even though your house is perfectly safe, some part of your brain will stay alert, listening, waiting for something it cannot quite name. That feeling is not a malfunction. It is a message, and it is over 2 million years old. Fear is the oldest technology your body owns. It was engineered long before language, long before fire, long before the first human being looked up at the stars and wondered what they were. Your ancestors were afraid in ways you have never had to be, and understanding what they feared most will tell you something uncomfortable about who you actually are. So what did ancient humans actually fear most? The answer is not what you think. Most people assume prehistoric life was defined by the fear of large predators, lions, wolves, giant bears. And yes, those threats were real. But research into paleoanthropology and evolutionary psychology tells a different story. The fear that shaped your nervous system most deeply was not the fear of being eaten. It was the fear of being alone. John Cacioppo, one of the foremost researchers in social neuroscience, spent decades studying what loneliness does to the human body. What he found was remarkable. Loneliness does not just make you sad, it triggers the exact same biological stress response as a physical threat. Your cortisol spikes. Your immune system shifts into a defensive, inflammatory state. Your brain begins scanning the environment for danger, even when no danger is present. For your ancient ancestors, Cacioppo argued, this was not a coincidence. It was design. Because for a human being living on the African savannah 2 million years ago, being separated from your group was not an inconvenience. It was a death sentence. Think about what your body could actually do alone. You could not outrun a leopard. You could not fight off a pack of hyenas. You could not stay warm through a cold night in the open bush. You had no claws, no armor, no venom, and no speed. What you had was other people. Your group was your only real defense. Separation from it was the most dangerous thing that could happen to you. And your brain learned that lesson so deeply, it has never forgotten it. This is why rejection still hurts the way it does today. Scientists at the University of Michigan, led by Ethan Kross, used brain imaging to show that social rejection activates the same neural pathways as physical pain. The part of your brain that lights up when someone breaks your arm is the same part that lights up when someone tells you they do not want you around. Your brain genuinely cannot fully separate the two. The ancient equation is still running: exclusion equals danger equals pain. But loneliness was only the beginning. The second great fear of your ancestors was the dark. Not dark in the poetic sense. Real darkness. The kind that existed before electric light, before campfire, before the first human learned to control flame. A darkness so complete that you could not see your own hand in front of your face. A darkness in which anything could be approaching, and you would have no warning until it was already on top of you. Researchers at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology have found evidence suggesting that early hominids nested in trees at night, not just for warmth, but to escape ground-level predators who moved freely after dark. The fear of darkness was not irrational. It was accurate. The night belonged to other creatures. It did not belong to you. And this fear left a trace in your biology that you still carry. It is called hypervigilance. When the lights go out, your brain does not simply relax. It sharpens. Your hearing becomes more sensitive. Your amygdala, the ancient alarm system buried deep in your brain, begins firing at shadows and sounds that your rational mind knows are nothing. That faint creak in the hallway at 2 a.m. that makes your heart spike before your conscious brain has even registered what you heard. That is a 2 million-year-old early warning system doing exactly what it was built to do. But there was a third fear, older and stranger than both of these, and it may be the most powerful of all. Your ancestors feared the unpredictable, not the known threat, the unknown one. David Sloan Wilson, the evolutionary biologist, has written extensively about how human beings evolved to be extraordinarily sensitive to violations of expected patterns. When something behaves in a way that does not follow the rules you have learned, your brain treats it as dangerous before it has any evidence that it actually is. A bird that flies the wrong way. A noise that does not have a source. An animal that does not flee when it should. Your ancestors who felt sudden dread at these violations were more likely to survive, because in a world without scientific understanding,